Good night. So, yeah, we're going to get back into the story. How are you guys feeling? I'm not on camera today. Today has been a day. So, luckily, we're here. So, from what I remember, the last where we left off at is where we're gonna start at. I want to thank everybody who does come. I didn't post any like cash outs or anything, or I'm not expecting anything. I just want to come in and story tell a little bit, keep that story going, so you guys won't forget. I want everybody to know I love them. Of course, I'm gonna say it now, and then I'll say it at the end. Uh, yeah. So, last of the story. I mean, we could do questions like maybe at the end, or if I see something down the chat, then I'll say. I know it's late. For a lot of people on the what is it, Wednesday? Yeah, but I'm a night out a little bit, especially working in a graveyard. uh, so okay, so we left off with my brother and him trying to raise us, and then we went to live with a different family member. That's when things kind of spiraled with my mother. Like I told you guys before, her eyes and stuff were rolling in the back of her head and things of that nature. I kind of jumped the gun with that one. So I made some points tonight too. So I want to, stay on those. So we moved to this family member's house, and we're in the process of moving out the apartment, packing our things. Family is all around. Everybody is discussing us like we're invisible, hence the title. Everybody is discussing us like we're invisible, like we don't have feelings, like we have no say. I guess at that time we really didn't. My grandmother was gone, and my mother was sick, and so me and my sister, we get in the car. We're finished packing up our stuff. We get in the car, and oh man, I'm sitting next to my cousin, and that's when everything started. Yeah, sitting next to my cousin, and we maybe, I don't know, I can't tell you exactly, but we were on the road for a minute. It doesn't take a long time to get from where we were to where we were going. Maybe about a 30-minute ride. And um, maybe a 30-minute ride. And his hand starts touching my thigh. So it was just that for that ride. And then it was like, okay. And so we rode there, we get there, they show us where we're going to be sleeping, and um, where to put our things. At this time, everybody's pretty much exhausted, so we go through the motions of them getting us ready, getting us, the next days, couple of days, the next 2 weeks, them getting our birth certificates and things of that nature, so that we can start school there. And at this time, my mom was just like really out of it, like she would like make these noises, and she had a dialysis, not dialysis, it was dialysis, but the tube, and get her tube for her dialysis was in her chest, and one evening she like knocked it out, and my uncle was like being really mean to her, because she did have HIV, and I think a lot of people are ignorant to it. So it was blood like kind of got all over the bathroom and stuff, and he was really upset about that, and he was fussing at her, but she was incoherent. So it was kind of like, why are you, yelling? At the time, it was just like I felt invisible, like be seen, not heard. And I don't know how long we were there before um, the abuse with my older cousin started. Um, However, there was a conversation that I heard between my uncle and his wife at the time, and it basically was saying like, you know, we didn't have we ain't have nothing, so uh, basically he's gonna give us the bare minimum. Like it kind of came off as if all the things that were happening were our fault. And I know I'm kind of diving into there really deep, but that's kind of where we are in the story. Um, so my mom is really sick, and she's no longer speaking. She makes these noises at night throughout the house. Um, they get us all together for school. So I remember this day because I think that was like our third or second day of school, and I was coming in from school, and I seen the insurance man. So in my family, a lot of my family members got the same insurance man, and I seen the insurance man come in, and then my my brother. Story is my brother was my mom's beneficiary for her life insurance. So the insurance man comes in, and my uncle wheels my mother out of her room, and him and the him and the what is this? It says, and this keeps happening to the live stream. They left and came back several times, and the screen will still be jacked. No, the screen is fine, you guys. I put this here. If somebody wrote that, I put this here because it's I don't want you guys to look at the closet, so it's like a little scarf. I put that there. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Didn't say. I'm sorry. No, I put it there. It's a little scarf. Sorry. It's not glitching. It's a scarf. I didn't want y'all to look at the white closet, so I thought I'd be kind of creative and put like, you know. No, it wasn't frozen. It isn't frozen. I'm sorry. Y'all know it's always gonna be a small hiccup with me sometimes. No. We are here. Okay, come back, y'all. It's not glitching. it's not it's not glitching. It's a scarf. It's a scarf. We have don't share more than you're prepared. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm prepared. I'm okay. I'm okay. This is old. I'm not saying that old things don't hurt. However, this is one of those things where I know, but I don't want to be on camera. I got my bonnet on. I'm just not in the mood. I love y'all though. I do. What does that say? Just curious, will your content be focused on the current events? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am not I was not. Um, I have to be able to participate in things, and I was unwillingly thrown into that, and I'm not. I'm all right. Nope, it's never gonna be. It's never gonna be about that. So, nope. So my personal past, yes. Trauma, etc., yes. But those other things, absolutely not. I don't even have any mods. I don't know what they, I should have scheduled this. Huh? I'm sorry. But it's okay. We'll be okay. All right. So, hey, Miss Terry. We understand. Absolutely. Hey, King. Thank you for answering. Absolutely. I don't blame you. Yeah, I'm never doing that. Can you guys hear me good? Give me butterflies if you hear me good. You give me butterflies. I'm all right, though. I'm gonna be all right. It's been overwhelming, and I've been doing some praying and some crying and some meditating and some things and some. It's gonna be okay. We gonna be all right. We always are. So, y'all ready for me to get back to the story? All right, y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. I love y'all. Okay, so insurance man came in, and my uncle wheeled my mother to the table, and him and the insurance man are talking. And so the story is that my brother was the beneficiary for all my mom's stuff, and my uncle changed it from my brother to him. Like, what? I didn't even know that. But I heard it happening, and I heard my brother's name being mentioned, and they believe a lot of my family at that time really was trying to give my brother a lot of shit, and like he was young, and I don't think they realized that till I got a little bit older, and I was like, y'all failing to realize that he was 18 and he was not our father. He shouldn't have been anybody's father. However, he was. He was very mature for his age. However, he was very immature for his age, and the things that he was doing at the time, were very, very, very very mature and a lot wise for him. He was 18, so they took him. He took his long story short, he took him off. A couple days after that, my mom, yeah, we do need some mods, but I mean, it's okay, right? It will be okay. You gotta keep going. I started this out telling the story, and I want to continue to tell the story. And we're gonna tell it till for about 30 minutes. Well, till I'll stop. How about that? We need mods, but I don't think we have any. It's late, and I didn't schedule this. I just pressed play, and yeah. Okay, so that happened. He took my brother off, and the household that we were living in was very, very chaotic. The family members that I were living with, it was DV in the house, and it was bad. It was real bad, and um, it it got to the point where the adults in the house were like not being there as much as they should have, and my mom couldn't do anything. So she wasn't even herself, and then we would be going to school again with without an adult being there. It was pretty cool, but it still was like I was invisible there. Like I just remember not really interacting with an adult, or an adult asking me like, how you been? How was school? You know, they took me to school, showed me what my schedule, gave me my schedule, and it was like I was just by myself. Like, it the household was just not. It was chaotic. It was a lot of toxicity there, and the DV was really bad, and I just felt real invisible. And I think at that point I stopped talking. I became like low key a mute because who did I have to talk to? It was just me and my sister, and she was younger and she would be off doing her own little thing. And in my mind, I had a lot of things going on in music, boy. I didn't have, I didn't really have like a radio yet. So, um, just the radio, me, and I would just sit there and just I would just be sitting there. I don't know if that's strange or what, but I would just be sitting there and singing, listening to the music, just vibing by myself. Now that I think about it, what I do now as an adult, especially now I don't have a partner or anything, which is okay. And I would be just sitting there vibing to the music. Nobody would be in the house, just me, my sister and this cousin. And so I can't remember the exact day or night that this happened. Um, but it started off like a slow thing. He came into my room and I don't know, I don't want to be really graphic, but he came into my room and that was the first day of me being, molested or what do you say, SA? Can't say it on here. You can't say SA. You supposed to say SA. That was the first day. And first time. He was 18 and I was 13. So that was it. And that's when it started. And it was an ongoing thing. The DV in the house was really bad. The adults in the house were really not even there. One fight was so bad that um, my little cousin at the time that was there, she was just like telling my one of my family members that this fight had went on all day long, all day long. They argued all day long. They fought in the kitchen, and then they went from the bath to the kitchen to the bathroom, and then uh, to the room, and then I guess it got so bad to where a pillow ended up being put over, the my aunt at the time, her face, and all I hear is my little cousin like, Daddy, don't kill her, don't kill my mom, and that was our cue. Like that's what made, because I would just sit in my room, because what am I gonna do? Like I'm sitting in my room and I'm listening to them fight because that's just what they did. And then I go in the room because I hear my little cousin saying, Daddy, don't kill her. And then he gets off of her. She says she's calling the police. And he runs. And he leaves. And then she packs up herself and her daughter and she leaves. We're in the house by ourselves. So then the abuse just went on and on and on. And nobody ever really asked me what happened. Nobody ever really asked me what happened, how long, and what was said. Nothing. Nobody ever really asked me. So I just didn't say. I just felt invisible. And I really stopped talking. Even when I would go to school, like I was lone wolf. I was by myself. I didn't have many friends. We didn't have like really clothes and shoes and all that. So I kind of, it was just basic things like it was no glitch. It was no glitch, y'all. So it was basic, you know. Luckily at that time I didn't get picked on or anything. So yeah, that went on. What happened after that? I can't even tell you how long we were in the house without an adult. Uh, God, I don't remember. So after, well, then when my uncle decided to come back, then we all moved to. Wait, prior to that, he came back So it was just us, but he would really be gone. He still would be gone a lot. So it really was just us still. And I think, well, I know it was around Christmas time. And I think that was when I got pregnant. Yep. I got pregnant at 13 by my cousin. And everybody would always ask me, why you didn't say nothing? Why you didn't say nothing? Because I felt invisible. I felt invisible. I felt alone. I do remember those feelings. And as my belly started to grow, I was going to school still, and the clothes that I did have, like my breasts were getting bigger, and I ain't pay much attention to it for real. And a lot of my family just assumed that I knew, what was going on with me, or even knew really what X was. Like this was happening to me, but I'm not using this word frequently. I don't know if you, now that I think about it, a lot of things that people thought I knew, I'm just now learning in the last freaking really 11 years, 10 years of my life. So it was around Christmas time where I got pregnant. And yeah, my belly was growing. I'm in the seventh grade. Was I seventh grade? Because I started eighth grade. I had him right before eighth grade. And a lot of people was calling me, like a lot of family was calling me fast, saying I did this and I did that. So then, of course, my belly gets bigger. And my mom comes back. We move out this house. So we move out this house because my uncle and his wife at the time broke up. So we move out this house and we go to a different house. We go to live with another family member, all of us. And yeah, I'm pregnant. But at the time, I didn't know, and I don't think anybody else knew yet. My mom, like right before we moved, one of my aunts had came over, and I guess she was questioning this is what I heard, because I didn't know this at the time. She was questioning my uncle, like, Nisha look like, they call me Nisha. Nisha look like she's pregnant, and my uncle like, well, I don't know how she could be that, or whatever the case may be. And so we go to this family member house. We live in there. The belly's getting bigger. Everybody is talking about it. So my uncle takes me to the doctor. He takes me to the clinic. And sure enough, I'm pregnant. And I am. And I think it's so funny how my family will be like, why you didn't say nothing? This is how I knew when I got older. This is how I knew when I got older that I was invisible. Because when we went to that clinic, I was 8 months pregnant. 8 months pregnant. You telling me I got all these adults around me and nobody knew? And I'm not talking. They're not talking. So, yep, I was 8 months pregnant. My uncle was mad and he was hooping and hollering, talking about this baby won't have a baby. And how did this happen? How did this happen? In the house. In the house. I ain't going nowhere but where, I was living. So everybody was, calling me fast and all these things. So whatever. So then we leave out, and the ladies talk to you and they ask, do you want the baby and all these things. And I was like, no, no, I guess not. I really didn't have much to say. I didn't talk for like 2 months, at least not to people. And oh, and when I went to school one day, I remember one of the boys at school was like, "You look pregnant," and I was like, "No, I'm not pregnant." Nothing. And that wasn't a thing of hiding it. It was a thing of I didn't know. I didn't know. I never was pregnant before. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on with my body. I didn't know what was. I didn't know. All I could say is I didn't know, and because that shit is true. Like I didn't know. This was before we actually went to the clinic. This is how you know that there was no adults. Nobody gave a about what I looked like, nobody greeted me when I came home. Nobody was hugging me. Nobody was kissing me. Nobody was telling me that they give a shit. So we go to the clinic. They tell my uncle how far along I am. He's pissed off. And, here we go. And then everybody's like, here everybody goes asking me, who's the father? So prior to that, I think this cousin noticed that my body was changing. And he asked me, do you think you pregnant? And I looked and I shrugged my shoulders. I don't know. I think he knew because he was older than me, but I didn't know. That ain't stop shit though. That didn't stop him from doing what he was doing. So then he asked a little bit down the line. We really didn't have conversation or anything. It just was a thing, I don't know. You just lay there, and so word was getting around, and about it, and yeah. Everybody's asking me who was it, and I really didn't say because when he asked me was I pregnant, he was like, basically, you better not say anything. You better not say anything. And it wasn't really no threat. It was just like, you better not say anything. And I was like, I just didn't say anything. I already was not talking. So who am I tell? And so yeah, then we go home, and then it's going all around to the family. And the only person that honestly, the only person that I felt like I betrayed. Oh man, come on now. The only person that I felt like I betrayed or didn't have a voice to speak to was my brother. And when he came, I guess one of my aunties had told him I was pregnant. And he came and he was like, you pregnant? You having sex? You fucking? And I didn't say anything. And he was like, you so stubborn. You don't fucking talk. You don't say nothing. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he just was so pissed off. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I still see him standing over me and me just looking at him. He's like, what the fuck is happening? Who are you pregnant by? Who did this? He just had so many questions and I didn't answer. I didn't say anything to anybody. And then I would get like my cousins or something, my older cousins, or my brother's girlfriend at the time. She was like, Look at your belly, like you really pregnant. Were you trying to hide it? And I told her no. I just shook my head no. I don't really remember talking a lot, honestly. A lot of people ask me about it, and then uh, I remember my some of my cousins. I guess they were trying to like. I guess their moms had talked to them about like getting me to say something to them. So me trying to be cool, which you're a kid. They're like, you pregnant, was you having sex? They're talking to me like we cool, like we homies and stuff like that. And my cousins. So they're like, like, was you having sex and this? So I make up this fucking story about me meeting this boy and having sex. And in this little teen club that we used to go to. I remembered the fucking dumbass story. And so, of course, everybody was asking me, and I never said it. I'm sorry, I didn't say trigger warning. I'm sorry. Everybody was asking me, uh, who's this little boy? Who is this little boy that you was with? Where is he at? We need to find him now. I understand the importance of why my family was behaving that way. Like, we need to find out, you know, what happened, if this was consensual, if this was, SA, if this was whatever. Now I get why everybody was up in the uproar uh, about it. And then it came back, of course, that this story's not true. And it was a lie. Some shit I made up because I don't know. I guess being a kid, like, yeah, I got a boyfriend, some dumb shit like that. I guess there was some shame there. I didn't even realize that there was, or some fear. Wow, I didn't even realize that. So, um, what happened? I don't know how exactly it came out. I don't remember honestly, but it did. I started to hear like little stuff from people. People really used to talk around me like I was invisible, and it just blows my mind now. Like my kids can't go a day without saying I love you or good night or what you doing, what you got going on, how you feeling, mental check, like what's up, because that was insane to be that young and nobody was talking to you, and nobody really would talk around you like you didn't matter. And yeah, it was weird, but it was happening. Everybody was so focused on themselves. Um, so I started to hear people talk about it, people talking about it, and who they thought it was, and X, Y, and Z. And I really don't remember how it got out there, but it did, and automatically I was victim shamed. I liked it. I thought he was my boyfriend. Um, Kind of like Brenda's got a baby type situation, except for I wasn't like a prostitute or nothing. And automatically victim shamed. Yeah, automatically victim shamed. That was my boyfriend in my mind. Yeah, that's what happened. I heard that a lot. Uh, yeah. Why you didn't say nothing? Why you didn't say nothing? You liked him. Da da da. I heard that a lot. Yep. So, um, so during that time, everything comes out. Everybody knows life's going on. I'm still going to school. Um, started staying like with different family members here and there because I got a little bit. Well, it was summertime, so that kind of helped not having to go to school, being like super big pregnant, and life just went on. If we can make a sweet moment out of it, because it was a child being born. My cravings were Starburst, milk, ugh, and Cheeto puffs. And my other uncle, his wife at the time, shout out to her. She's a sweetheart to me. During that time, she used to always come and bring and put Starburst on the. Oh God, the things you remember, right? She used to always come and put Starburst on the dresser for me, and Cheeto puffs when she would come home from work. And she liked milk too. It was so gross because I would drink my milk cold with ice, and she would drink her milk off the dresser. Me off the dresser. Sorry. She would drink her milk like you know how you set water on the side of your nightstand and it would get warm or room temperature. She would drink her milk like that. Ugh. So yeah, life is going on, and I'm pregnant, and one day we're just all at home, regular, and my brother comes and he like I need, and I can't even remember where my sister was when a lot of this was going on. I guess she became invisible to me too. Wow. So um my brother comes over to my uncle's house, and we're standing outside next to in the driveway, and he's just looking at me like the fuck, you know. And I think when it came out about the cousin, nobody believed it. So the cousin was still we were all still living in the same house together. And my brother was pissed because he believed it. He was like, what the fuck? But everybody wanted to wait till the baby came out to say yes or no whether or not this was really true. Um, so my brother came over and we were sitting outside and he's just looking at me. He's so upset. He's going back and forth and he's talking and I'm just listening. And then he says, Mom is gone. We get quiet. He kind of gives me I guess like a side hug or something. And he walks off. I don't even know where he went, but he walks off. He said, Mom is gone. So my mother died um, March 3rd, 2000. And I don't even remember. I didn't cry. He walked off. He hugged me, he walked off, and then I walked off. So we didn't really talk much about it. Nobody else came to me and said anything about it. If they did, I don't remember. So, yeah, I was pregnant. My mom had just died. I was pregnant by my cousin, and my mom had just died from complications with HIV or AIDS. And yeah, so then everything just started happening, like preparations for the funeral. I went to stay with one of my aunties, and while everything was getting situated, and I remember it was pretty cool over there. You know, I remember my aunt is in this certain type of religion. I'd rather not say because then it kind of puts people in, whatever. She's in this religion, and we would go to the place of worship, and I guess one of the elders or one of the women told her like they didn't want me to come back because they didn't want teenage girls to think it was okay to get pregnant. So, um, yeah, the place that you're supposed to go to. No, I was in middle school. I was in the 7th grade, but it was summertime, so I was going to the 8th grade. Yeah. Um. So they basically told her, don't bring me back there because they didn't want the girls to think it was okay to be pregnant. I remember that. So okay, my mom passes away, and we're getting ready for the service. There's this big old fight about the beneficiary and the life insurance policy. Basically, my uncle was a fucking crudball, and he was being a crudball. I don't care, and if he has changed, I don't hold anything against him. I'm not upset with him or any of those things. I mean, he's not in my life anymore. We really don't talk or deal. Um, However, that was a crudball move. He took my mom's life insurance. He cremated her, and he took the rest of the money. And I know it wasn't much, but it was ours, you know. And I remember the service. I remember somebody getting up saying, these kids, me, my brother, and my sister, like these kids have been through a lot, and we just need to cover them. We need to pray for them. Like this is crazy. Like, a friend of the family got up and said this, and then she's like, I don't know. We need to put some money together so these kids can go and basically just be together and love on each other. They just lost their mother, and it was like crickets in there. Nobody gave a shit, and if they did, they didn't show it. Like it just was a weird time, man. It was weird. Like everything is so surreal. It's so warped, especially now going back and talking about it. So then nothing came of that. Funeral was over. Mother dead. That's it. Boom. Now what? I'm still pregnant. Um, One thing I do remember about my mom's service, my father, my sperm donor came, and he was on crutches. He came, he cornered me, and he was like, "How you doing? I loved your mom. That was my baby. I'm mad. I'm mad that shit took her." I'm sorry, I'm doing the voice because that's how he fucking sound. I'm mad that shit took her out, but I love you. And he walked away on crutches. Well, you could have took me with you, sir. I am your daughter. I could have went with you. You left me. Like, he just left. He came to the service and he said what he said to me, and he left. I don't know how long after that I seen him again. But yep, he left. So service over, mom dead, I'm pregnant. Life goes back to normal. I'm still going to school. Oh no, it's summertime, I'm sorry. So he was supposed to be born September 23rd. One night we were regular in the house, everybody, and my stomach started hurting. And my other uncle, the one who would buy me the Starburst, uncle's wife, the one who would buy me the Starburst, she's a nurse. And I told her, I said, my auntie, my stomach hurt. She said, what does it feel like? She said, is it a pain that's coming and going, or is it just a pain? I said, it's just a sharp pain. So then she was like, you should be okay, So I laid down. Then I felt like I had to use the bathroom. So I went to go use the bathroom, and a mucus plug came out. So then I told her. She was like the only person I would talk to for real at that time. Kind of like how I know why the cage bird sings. Or is that how that? What's that book? Maya Angelou. Her story on why she became a mute. So, she asked me. I went to the bathroom and a mucus plug came out, and I told her about it, and she was like, just lay down because you might be going into labor. And so I laid there on the floor. Laid there. She called my uncle. She was like, "You need to take her to the hospital. She might be going in labor." I know why the cage bird sings. Yes, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Um, you need to take her to the hospital. She might be going in labor. I heard her say this from the next room. So I'm laying on the floor, laying on the floor. And as soon as he got there, it seemed like them contractions was just like boom, boom, boom. My stomach was hurt so bad. And I never dealt with no pain like that before. So I was just like, oh my God. And I was silent. Do you hear me? I did not scream. I did not cry. In that house where I was, I think the people around me were suffocating me. I did not scream, talk, and I never shared this with anybody but like in these details because I never shared this with anybody but my ex. The details of things like now that when at that time when we would have those conversations, and it became therapeutic, so I would go into things and I would be like, oh shit, I didn't even know I felt like that. I didn't realize that this was this and this was that, if you understand what I'm saying. So I didn't say anything. You know how women, they're having babies and they're like, oh my God, it's her. Oh, I was silent. You hear me? My uncle came and picked me up. My uncle was on some fucking street shit. So he picks me up. Mind you, it's two crackheads in the car. I kid y'all not. I kid y'all fucking not. He comes and get me. She tells my uncle to come get me. It's two crackheads in the car and a TV in the middle. I'm not fucking joking. One on this side, one on this side, and then my uncle is driving, and I'm on the other side. And it's a TV in the middle of me, and I'm going in labor. I'm having contractions like fucking crazy. My stomach hurts so bad, and I'm holding on to the TV. Nobody's talking to me. Music is on. They going kicking the willy bow, kicking it, talking about whatever it is they had going on, and I'm sitting there in labor. Contractions crazy. I'm hurt. The TV, I'm holding on to the TV and just gripping it. Like every time one comes, I'm just sitting there silent. How do you have a baby in silence? I'm having this thing. It's happening. My stomach is killing me. So we get to the hospital, and I said, and probably like I just said, I think that the people around me have suffocated me. They took my voice box. They took my voice. Because as soon as I got to that hospital, I screamed. When they rolled me into that little room, because they were trying to stop him from coming because he was a month early. When they rolled me into that room, I screamed. I screamed. I screamed. I screamed for fucking dear life. Like, I am in pain. What is happening to me? I remember screaming. And then my uncle's wife, she called because my uncle dropped me off. He dropped me the fuck off like a dog. Oh man, this is crazy. Mind you, I'm not mad at nobody. I don't feel no way towards no family members or none of that. We really don't conversate. The ones I do talk to, I talk to. But I'm not mad at them. I don't feel no way about them. So, and I'm only chuckling because it's just like it's bizarre now. And this is maybe like this is probably like this is my second time ever even telling this story. The first person I ever told it to was my ex. So, and I screamed. I remember screaming, and my uncle's wife at the time, she called the delivery room, and she was on the phone with me, him, my uncle's girlfriend, and then my uncle's wife at the time, and they were like, "You okay? You okay? You about to have that baby?" And I just started screaming, and I dropped the phone, and they were trying to stop him from coming, but he came. They moved me to a different room, and they were like, "Try not to push," and I could not push, and I did what my body was saying do, and he came out. He was 4 pound baby, and the doctor was like, "I had to catch him." I remember her saying that, and I got 3 stitches, and they wheeled him on, and then my uncle came in. The uncle whose son did what he did came in, all hostile, and so determined to prove me wrong, and I'm lying on his son and all this shit. He's like, "That baby ain't here," all this shit. So he comes and he looks over at the baby. He says some shit and he walked out. So that was going to determine whether or not I was telling the truth about what happened. And I was just so out of it and detached from the world. I do know that I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, my nurse was like, my nurse was so sweet. I wish I could remember her name. She's like, "You such a baby." She's like, "You've been asleep for like 5 hours. You were snoring and everything." She was so sweet. I remember her. And I said, "I gotta pee." And she said, "Okay." So I go to the bathroom. Well, I attempt to go to the bathroom. And 8 months, you were big. I wasn't big. I was small, actually. I actually didn't get big till that 8 month, that 8th month. It seemed like once everybody found out, your stomach just be like, boof. I attempted to go to the bathroom, and then I fainted. And I fainted. So I remember waking up and I had a catheter. I was like, they were like, I lost, some blood, and I guess my little body just went through a lot. That was a lot. Um, so he was there, and I was there. I didn't have a name. I was so disassociated. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I was disassociated from it. It was bad. My disassociation from the birth, the baby, the situation. I was nope. I had nothing. You a mommy? No, the fuck I'm not. What? My disassociation was bad. So we spent 3 days in the hospital. We got home. When I left, there was nothing for the baby. When I got home, the dresser was full of stuff. I guess my family had went out and bought things for him. And yeah, I was watching his baby. Well, for a while, school was about to start. So I started school. I started 8th grade that September. So I had a couple weeks, my body was doing its thing before I actually had to start 8th grade. And my uncle and his girlfriend at the time would like keep him at night and stuff. But for the most part, he was my baby. Like they didn't say, "Oh, we need to take him, we need to take him because she's a baby. She's 13." And I didn't realize that till I became an adult like you. And I told my family that. I said, "Y'all should have took him. Y'all should have took him and y'all should have raised him." or we should have put him up for adoption because I was 13, y'all. I should not have had to be a mother. Y'all made me be a mother because y'all thought, y'all victim shamed me and y'all thought that that's what I wanted. And that I was having sex with him willingly. That's what y'all did to me. And they made me raise him. They made me raise him. They made that decision for me. They didn't give him to the 18-year-old that could legally take care of him. Yeah, because I felt safe. Yeah. So, um, I guess tell this last part and I could be finished with this. I want to be finished with it. Um, so he's here and they're watching him. But when I started school, they started watching him. But for the most part, I was up changing diapers, making bottles, taking care of a baby, and that was just so numb. Like I didn't want no baby, so I was doing what they told me to do, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I love this little thing. No, mm-mm. So school started that September, um, and one of my school had started. I think it was like 2 weeks in to school, and a girl that I had knew from a previous school, she was like, "Oh, you want to go hang out? You want to come?" She wanted to come to my house, and I was like, "Cool." So she came over, and she um my uncle's girlfriend gave me the baby, and um she's like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "My little brother." And she's like, "Oh," because my uncle was like, I was like, "Oh, I wanted to go hang out with my friend," and he was like, "You need to put, you need to put him to sleep before you leave." And I know, man, but if my grandma was around, that would have never happened to me. You know, you know, that would have never happened to me because she ain't play that shit. So, anyways, I told her that was my little brother. I put him to sleep when I left, and I got to hang out, which I really didn't get to do too much of, or even really ever found friends, because women, girls, don't matter who it is, they always would be funny towards me. Like, I don't know, it's just always been like that. A lot of my friends growing up were males. A lot of my best friends were males. So, um, yeah, that was my disassociation. I shared that part, like me saying that he was my little brother. And so one night, just a regular night, I was listening to the radio and I was holding him and he smiled. I made him laugh. And that's the day I became a mom. When I made him laugh. I thought he was so cute. But I had never looked at him. I was sitting in my room listening to music, as always. And I was holding him. I don't know if I had just like changed a diaper or something. And I made him laugh a little bit. And I was like, oh, wow. You know? And I think that's the day I became a mom officially, when I was like, oh, this is my baby. Mind you guys, this is not like third time ever telling this story ever in my life. So, you know. All right. So, I'm okay. So, I became a mom after that. And my family tried to like play my uncle more so. Try to like play me like I was just like this whore and I was fucking all these little boys and all this. You need to be on birth control. I kept asking me, was I taking the birth control? And I'm like, I'm not fucking. I'm not having sex. I never was. And I wasn't. So, whatever. I was taking the birth control. And yeah, I just life continued and I started middle school and yeah. Yeah, I didn't name him or anything. I didn't have any interest. One of my uncles, he was like, he knew so much. He was so loud and so wrong, and it was so annoying. But I remember it because I'm like, what? He was like, so you thought that that was your boyfriend? And I was like, what? Who? He was like, you thought such and such was your boyfriend, and you thought my nephew was your boyfriend, and but even if y'all felt like that, even if my family felt like that, why the fuck didn't y'all get me some help? If I thought my cousin was my boyfriend and I liked fucking him, nobody got me no help. Nobody said nothing, you know. So now that I know better, I'm like, you was saying that, but you was saying that to hurt me. You know, you was saying that because you thought you had something on me, and it wasn't. It wasn't that. So he was like, you know how I know? He was like, you know how I know that you know how I know that you liked him. You was that was your boyfriend. You thought that was your boyfriend because you named your son last name Davenport. I was like, oh my god, you damn fool. That's my last name. And we gonna cut the story off. We gonna cut the story off. It made me chuckle. Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, we gonna cut it off. And guilty conscience about what? So yeah, we'll continue. Let me write this down where we at. Um so yeah, the baby. And moving around, should I say that? Because we moved again after that. Where did we go? Oh no, we did move, but that was the beginning of foster care. So I'm gonna write that down. Uh, my brother and yeah, we did move out of away from there. My brother and then foster care and yeah, that was the beginning of foster care. So we'll talk about that in episode 4. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Thank you, Naisha. You are giving me so much healing without even knowing it. I'm so appreciative. Thank you, baby Shay. I appreciate you. You be on it, girl. Throwing them butterflies and cash apps and links. Out. I appreciate you, girl. I know it's late. I know it's late. Anybody want to say something? Motivation Nation. You know I love you, girl. You know what? I was at the gym, but I will catch the replay. All right. Is it Sherelle? Or is it Sherelle? Am I saying that right? I really do need to write a book. Yes, that's always been my that's always been one of my goals to write a book. It doesn't sound like, because when I say it out loud, it's like, this shit crazy. This is supposed to be some page turning stuff, you know? I need I need you to get a P.O. box. I was working on it today. All I have to say is profit from your pain, sis. That's the reason why I even was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna hop on here. Now you should have my 13-year-old granddaughter here with me. So hold on. 13-year-old daughter. Oh gosh. 13-year-old granddaughter here with me. So sorry you had to deal with this. Sorry you had to deal with this at that age. You weren't even a teenager. Yeah. Is it a bad thing? Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Is it what? Did the hospital call the police? No, they didn't. If they did, I didn't see the police, but I did have a social worker. And I don't know what my uncle told them. I believe that they told them that I was a willing participant in the shit. So it was consensual. I think that's what they told him. They told the hospital. Is it a bad thing that foster people? What? They wasn't going to take you for your mom, and because of my dad, huh? Okay, let me read that better. Hold on. Is it a bad thing that foster people wasn't going to take me for my mom, and because of my dad, but I protected my mom because I love her and I still love her. Well, I don't like. What are you trying to say? They were trying to take you away from your mom. They were trying to take you away from your dad. The hospital called the police. It's okay, mama, take your time. They do now. You can self-publish your book. Let me write that down. Smash words. Yeah, me and my auntie have been really talking about it. Me publishing. Me starting to write my book. It's all so much, but I'm gonna get it. We gonna get it together. What was it called? One day at a time, right? I've never been an addict, but I guess that applies though. So it's just a lot. I got you with the ideas when you're ready. I'm mad as a motherfucker, but okay. I'm not trying to get put out. Why are you mad? What happened? What's happening? Me and my twin sister, Naisha, you are going to be a huge success. The best of life starts now, yeah, because it runs in the family, boo. There's so many creeps out here in these streets, yeah. There's so many creeps in these streets out here because it runs in the family. Yeah. We'll talk about the next episode. We'll talk about everything in the next episode. Do you guys have any questions for me? All right. Oh, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I believe God's got huge plans for you. Thank you, honey. I believe he does too. You know, I want to thank everybody for sending stuff off that wish list. That is so amazing to me. I'm sitting there, and the girls keep asking me, when your heart is quiet, you give people the courage to have a voice. You did your big one today, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. Whew. And I mean, you know, I'm all right. Shoot, I'm okay. It's gonna be okay. We gonna be okay, right? We gonna be okay. Oh, the wish list. The girls, they like, check the wish list, mom, check the wish list, check the wish list. And I'm checking it. I'm like, this stuff, you and the kids are going to be traveling, laughing, glowing. I'm so excited. Yes, thank you for y'all speaking life into us. Oh my gosh, like it's amazing. This wish list and everybody purchasing this stuff and it's moving. It's just been a lot, and it's been so much that I'm grateful, and I'm just trying to accept everything, and it's just not try to feel like I don't deserve to be happy, even if I have made mistakes, even if I have did things um that were not right, or that doesn't mean that that's who I am, you know. And I feel like that's a lot of what has been going on, and I'm not going to get into it, sort of say. However, everybody makes mistakes. You know, I'm not the only one who's ever been through this. I'm not the only one who's ever failed a test. I'm not the only one who has shortcomings. I'm not the only person in the world. And I don't want to feel like I'm a prisoner to any of it. Every day that I rise is a new day that I can make something happen for myself. I can change my destiny. The silliest thing people tell you to do is don't change. Change is constant. Change is constant, and I'm gonna continue to change. I'm gonna continue to evolve. I'm gonna continue to spread light. I'm gonna continue to tell my story. I always knew and had a feeling that I had a powerful story. And I'm like, I can write a book. Who knew? It just came in the form of YouTube. It came in the form of, what happened. What happened. Everybody knows, and it's here. And I want to speak. I don't want to be suffocated. I don't. Why? What? Is it happened? It's over. It's done. Let's just move on. I'm not out to hurt nobody. I'm not saying I ain't never made no mistakes. I'm not doing any of that. I've never spoken on anybody's character. All I was saying from the beginning was what I was saying. I've been sticking with it because it's my truth. And I don't even have no ill will or hate towards those people. I just don't. Like, I, we're gonna get to this too. When I started to get a little bit older, I was a bitch. I was a bitch. Um, I was in survival mode. Let's say that. You get to a point where you're getting older and you're about to age out of things and you really don't want to listen to people. And I'm going to get to that because foster care is next. And I was just in survival mode. In survival mode. And I know that I'm the villain in people's stories. I know that I bled on people, childhood traumas and things that I didn't even know. I didn't even know how to articulate myself to talk, to say, or to feel. I was in survival mode. So it's a fucked up place to be. And now that I'm not there no more, I don't want to be there, and I don't want to go back, and I don't want nothing to make me feel like I should. The hell. Right. So yeah, we're gonna continue to tell the story. Um, I'm gonna name the next episode. I don't know what comes to mind. No more home. No more home. I love y'all. I think y'all great. I'm grateful for everything. Cash App, wish list, y'all just being here, um, the support, the replays, actually catching the live. I know I didn't schedule it, and I was like, fuck it. I'm just sitting here. Let me tell my story. Let me tell the rest of the story, because the last live we just was kicking it. um, I be wishing I could play music for y'all, but what I was listening to um, before I got on here. And today was rough, y'all. So I have these new clients. And uh, I got them mixed up today. And I caught a lift to the wrong person's freaking house. So then I had to catch a lift to the right person's house. So I overly spent on Lyft today. And uh, it was a mess. But I'm okay. It was a mess. I was so upset. I was so upset. I was like, fuck, I read that wrong. Whatever. Got it done. But I was upset about that for a little while. I didn't let it consume me though. We love you. Get some sleep. Talk to you soon. Rest well, everybody. We can be your family. Ow. Thanks, nerdy girl. Be myself because we all have trauma. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. Absolutely. I had that complex bad. Like, I got to tell myself that all the time. I don't have to be perfect. Rest well, butterflies. Thank y'all for showing up. Showing up and showing out. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for the comments. I'm grateful for everything. I'm gratitude for everything. Everything. As long as y'all know I'm not perfect and I'm not portraying to be, and I'm not here out here asking people for things that I don't need and all this crap. I'm not. Look, look. I appreciate all y'all. Thank you for letting me tell my story. Thank you for continuing to still listen. You know. Hmm. Absolutely. I'm gonna get on that PO box, y'all. I'm about to do it tonight because I'm gonna get on the PO box because I know House of Queens has been, and then I want to get, you know, I don't know how to get you guys. Hello, Naisha, Mons and chat. Hey, Slay. Let's say Slay. Okay, not Shay. Slay. um, I want to get. I know you wanted to send me some candles and things, so I do want to. I'm gonna get on that. Get on that because y'all keep asking me. And I was on it today because I have to change my address. So I've been but something had happened. I guess it was with the system, and then I just never came back to it because then I had to get ready for work and then all those things. So I love y'all. I have to read y'all. And I would just, I have to go to the post. I was trying to get it to where I wouldn't have to go to the post office at all because, mind you, I have to catch a lift every damn where, and it's so annoying. So, um, thank you for believing in me. Motivation Nation, girl, you know, you. I don't know why would you be touching my little heart. I was trying to get it to where I wouldn't have to go to the post office at all and just do everything online. But the post office is still so old school about a lot of things. I found my voice. Nope, you found your voice. I gotta read. I have to read y'all comments when everything is over. You have a mention book, movie, right? The movie, yo. I didn't even think about the movie. The movie would be dope. Absolutely. Let's speak that into existence. The movie. Oh man. What would it be called? The movie. Shoot. The movie would be like, man. Thank you for trusting us to share your story with us. Yeah. Absolutely. 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 Take it step by step. Yeah. All right. I love y'all. I'm gonna find me something to eat and climb up in this bed. See what the children are doing. I've been on here an hour. The P.O. box is expensive, nerdy girl. Really? See, I haven't even checked the price yet. Have a good night, Nation chat. Yeah, good night. Let the babies know that we love them too. I will. I will. I'm gonna go check on them. I've been on here for an hour. Drop the butterflies on the way out. Absolutely. Let's do it. I wonder why they changed from blue to these brown ones. But I love y'all. I gotta get my information out to my peeps, but you know I can't drop it on here. I'll be being gang stalked and shit. Rodney's okay, fatty. Rodney ass is bad. Rodney on his way out. I gotta pay freaking $150 for him to stay here. Then we gotta get him neutered and spaded and all this shit. Rodney expensive too. Replay game. Hey everybody. Hey Ebony. Yeah, you gotta replay it, girl. We on our way out. No Angel, just showing love. Hey, for everybody who's popping in, replay gang. Thank you, baby Shay. Appreciate you. Later, y'all.